It's Moneyy, and we live in the living room. Shout out to Reese, the director.
I already know you, and I know your whole story, but for your new fans out there, tell everybody where you're from.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York, but I grew up all over. But where I originally from, I would say Crown Heights, but grew up in Flatbush.
How long were you living in Flatbush?
I feel like 20 years.
20?
Years.
Okay. Well, so what was it like growing up in Flatbush?
It's very Caribbean. There's different parts of Brooklyn feel very different, and Flatbush does give more of the Caribbean side. It's just there. It's what you see. You know, the parkways, right? A couple blocks up. That's where the parade happens. So, it's very lively. People are always outside. It's always busy. Like, it's like any typical hood, honestly. You know.
Okay, so did you grow up in a single family home or both parents?
Single family.
So what was that like?
Rough, very rough. There was a lot of love, but a lot of trauma.
Okay.
But, you know, parents do the best they can.
Right. So were you like relatively a good kid or bad kid coming up?
My mother always said I was about good till the teenage years, which most parents.
What you started doing in your teenage years?
Teenage years, I just felt like I've been through so much, I knew it all. And I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to do what made me happy, and I wanted to live the way I felt I should be living.
Moneyy, is that your stage name or is that like your real name?
So Moneyy is my stage name, but my middle name is Moneyy. So I just played on that with Money, Moneyy, and made it Moneyy. But that's just my stage name.
Okay, and how long you been an entertainer?
Honestly, about 2 months. I've written poetry my whole life, but 2 months.
Okay, so you fresh, like brand new at this.
Baby, yeah.
Do you come from a musical background?
It's funny you say that. I would say no. My mother would say yeah, because I would honestly hear her rhyme, but it was more.
Do you remember anything she would say?
Something as in I'm cat and I'm thicker and a snicker, ain't nobody slicker. You know, just like. But she would say definitely got it from her.
Okay. Anybody else in the family? Uncles, aunts, anybody played any instruments, anything like that? Church choirs?
No, I only know of a cousin that went did a tour with what you call them? Wu-Tang.
Oh, okay.
That's the most I know.
Because your family's from Staten Island, right?
Yeah. But I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised.
Okay. So are your parents like is your mom supportive of your music career so far?
Very much. She's very happy, very excited.
Okay. So you got a new single coming out, Biggest Boss.
Yes, sir.
A pretty bitch from the block, I got niggas on my cock. I ride a nigga face more, this dick worth to my pops. Nigga asking me if I'ma marry him or not. Never had to sell pussy.
Yes, sir.
How'd you come up with the title?
Biggest Boss, because it's basically my breakout song. So I kept pondering like, you know, I'm talking big shit, like boss shit. And it's part of my chorus, so I was like, I'm the biggest boss. So yeah, biggest boss. Like
okay.
Yeah.
What inspired the title?
To be honest, it's within the lyrics, within the song. When you listen to it, it's coming out on some I'm here. So it's some boss shit, you know?
Right. Who produced the beat?
Pyro Kane. He on every tag.
Who's this Pyro Kane? Like, where's he from?
I can't lie on that man's name. I know he worked in Connecticut, you know, in New Haven, but like to say which part he's from, I can't say that. But he's a producer. He's dope, and he dropped gems. Like he's really for the win. He want to see you shine.
How long you been working with him? Well, I guess like this 2 months so far.
Yeah.
Dope. Okay. So like what marketing strategies have you been using to like build your following?
So I've always been big on social media when it comes to anything. If it's running a business, if you're a personality, it's about knowing your niche. It's about the audience you want to target, and it's about being willing to spend bread, you know, and put yourself out there, online and in person. Honestly, it takes both to build that social media.
So like your track Biggest Boss, when is it coming out, or is it out already?
So you could pre-save it now, because the pre-save was for 11/14, but it drops 11/24 right after Thanksgiving. So.
Oh, okay.
Go get that. Go get that.
All right. So what inspired you to make music?
Whew. So.
Especially because you just started. It's kind of late, like. And I wouldn't say late because you can do anything you want nowadays,
Definitely. Honestly, I had reached out to my pops because he wasn't in my life, and the response was direct, passing blame somewhere else, and just more or less he moved on. He don't want to build, and I just wrote about it because I was hurt by it. I felt like it's okay to move on, but he didn't have the right to not even give us a try when I was willing to,
Yeah.
So I wrote a poem about it, and I read it to a friend of mine, and then passed it to his friend. And he was like, "Oh, it's pretty good. You got something going on here. If you could turn this into a song, then you might be on to something." So I was like, "Turn it into a song?" He's like, "Yeah." So he started explaining syllable count, and shout out to Moneyy for that. He started explaining syllable count and just flow and how to ride the beat. Just honestly turning me into an artist because of what he saw just off of poetry. So I just started taking notes, learning. He started explaining to me to listen to artists from that first started this rap shit. So I had to go back to learn how to do what I'm doing now. I know where you come from. Same thing, Pyro told me that too, like to learn where I come from, and just doing a lot of artist development. And I always talk about my journey on my page because I'm not ashamed that I'm learning and growing.
Right. What themes do you plan on addressing in your music?
My EP that I'm working on right now is.
Can we get the title?
The Moneyy mixtape.
Okay.
It's basically like different versions of me because I've noticed in my life people see me in a certain way they see me, when I see me totally different. And I put that in my music. You're gonna hear different topics about life, love, trust, money, honesty, struggle, suicide, because all of those things are me. All of those things are part of my life, are part of my story. So in my mixtape, my EP, you will see all of the layers to me.
Okay. So like what themes do you plan on addressing?
Suicide, love, lust, laughter, relationships, parents, heartbreak, all the things that mold us into who we are, honestly.
How do you manage a love life and having a music career?
It's not easy. There's times where either your love life takes a hit or your music takes a hit. Sometimes none take a hit. You're able to balance both. It depends on the day, what you got planned. Sometimes you be selfish, sometimes you don't. It's also about having a partner that's going to be understanding and happy and want you to have those dreams. That plays a big part. Being with someone who's supportive of what you do plays a big part in how you move and how you operate too, because you got at least that one main supporter,
Right.
So that plays a part in everything. But it's all about communication and patience, honestly, with any relationship, even if it wasn't music.
Okay, so how would you define your approach to love?
It depends on the feeling. Sometimes they feeling me first. That's most times. Or sometimes I'm feeling him first. So it depends on how the situation's going, how they make me feel, how I make them feel, as to how my reaction is.
Okay, so like how would you, like what's one advice you give to somebody who's trying to manage a relationship and a music career?
Be open and honest. If something clashes between, let's say, a show or a studio that you're supposed to go on a date, you gotta be honest. You gotta be willing to compromise. You gotta say, I know we had a date, but I really need to do this studio time. So can we meet after? Can you come with me to the studio? You gotta be willing to mend and bend, so all parties are happy.
So like, what's your process to finding beats?
I love to sample a good beat. I love music that holds memories for me, that has brought me through tough times. So finding beats goes off of how did I feel when I hear it, to what I can do on it. that's what makes me say this is the one, because I remember what it feels and what it's making me feel now, and I play with it first, and I'm like, okay, this could work. And I'm also learning to play with things that I'm not sure if they could work too, because that's part of being an artist, you know.
When did you say to yourself you found your purpose?
Okay, my first poem that I turned into a song, it was cringy, but even that, it made me smile. Something about it. And when I dedicate myself to something, I really put all into it. And after putting all my into making my songs, it was a feeling I've never felt. And that's how I knew, like, this is my calling, because things have made me happy, things have made me smile, but it sounds corny, but it was like I could feel my heart kind of smile with doing it. Like, it's a different therapy, it's a different love. Like, it's like a different whole type of relationship. It's weird.
Wow. So who encouraged you to believe in yourself?
Besides myself, my manager, the people and artists he worked with, Moneyy, Moneyy, you know, these are artists that, like, heard me and said, you know, we believe in you. And my mom, of course, you know, like, family, majority of them, like, I'm going, and then, you know, people gonna give me the real. If they don't like it, they don't like it. I probably got 2 songs out that, you know, I showed them and they like, this is not my favorite, but I like this one. And I'm learning to accept that, because we all have different tastes. And it's cool, because I'm like, all right, it's not for you, but I like it someone else with.
Who do you listen to right now? There's a lot of female artists right now. There's a lot of, you know, music out right now.
It's crazy, because before I was very stuck in my ways, but I think with being an artist, it's made me open my horizon more. So, of course, Lotto, Cardi, and I love Mello, and the girls that was on Mello track, Amari Blaze, Cashmere, like, I like listening to the women. I like going back and listening to, I'm gonna play Biggie almost every day. You can't take that away. I go back, I'll listen to LL, I'll come back and listen to Moneybagg Yo. It's not a specific, it's about what track my body wants, honestly. That's the truth.
Okay. So what does making it mean to you?
Making it, that's funny. I have so many, like, ideas of what it means.
But if you could narrow it down to just one thing.
When I knew I made it, if I was to go to perform at a showcase and they finishing my song, it's not even about the money. It's about if my song with a whole crowd, I can't finish the bar without them saying it before me. To me, that's making it. Right?
Okay. So what's the difference between you and you as an artist?
The difference is, artist me is the loud, rambunctious, I would say ghetto me. And me is chill, funny, laid back. But, you know, the Moneyy is, you know, the girl you really want to be around. You know, that's the lit girl. And then the other one's just, hey, how you doing?
Okay, so if you had the opportunity to talk to your younger self before you started taking all of this serious, what would you tell yourself?
Oh, man, I would have started a long time ago. I would have told myself to be patient. It's going to come when it's meant for you. It's going to come whenever it comes. So I wouldn't have been disappointed if it didn't come when I felt it was supposed to. To enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey of making music, of the studio time, of hearing your art come to life. Enjoy it, because, you know, it's different once it hit the masses. Now you got to worry about how they feel, what they think. But when you in the studio making that magic, you're not worried about what other people want to think. You in that studio like, oh man, listen to that. So, you know.
Okay. So if you had the opportunity to record a track with any mainstream artist right now, who would it be?
I had the opportunity to do any mainstream artist, who would it be? Lady London. Definitely Lady London, because she feels like such a big challenge. I would love it.
If you had to choose between what makes you happy and what makes you money, which one would you choose?
What makes me happy?
But what makes you happy is not making any money. You okay with that?
I mean, don't get me wrong, money makes me happy too. But yeah, I would choose happiness, because money come and go, but I honestly could say happiness is something I lacked in my life, so I would choose that. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay. Top 5 dead or alive.
Top 5 dead or alive.
Can be rappers, singers.
Top 5 dead or alive. So of course Biggie is my top one.
Okay.
I would put Papoose in there. Top 5 dead or alive. It's so many like great artists. That I love. I do love Beanie Single, so I would throw him in there. Like I love him. Damn, you might have got me on the last two. You might have got me on the last two. I have realized recently that Remy Ma is pretty lyrical. We're listening to her more and more. So as a female, I would definitely put her in. No, Lady London, because like you said, that's why I would want to do a feature with mainstream. Love she, Lady London.
What's the hardest part in your opinion with growing a fan base, or has it been easy?
The hardest part is when you start out, people don't take you serious. When you're brand new, it's like, oh, okay, artist, we'll see how long this is. To me, that's the hardest part, is because you're new, you can't show consistency. You like, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
So when you're new and you're like, hey, I'm an artist, and they're like, where you come from? Like, who are you? So that's the hardest part, is, okay, you got to put out something that's going to make them want to check you out because you're new. And then when you're new, you don't have too much to back it up. Being the workload yet to, for them to view. So when they see your page and you don't have it set up to look as professional as everybody else, people, for me, want to support who's already on, not who's up and coming.
Right. What makes you different?
What makes me different is, I know so many people probably get the same answer. I'm just gonna be me, just my authentic self. You're gonna see me not be perfect. You're gonna see what you see. And what makes me different is I'm gonna be me, and you're gonna take it or leave it. There's no changing my image or what I feel or what I say. I'm gonna stand on it. If I feel like, hey, I was wrong and I could grow here, definitely, but you're gonna get the raw. I'm gonna show you every aspect of me because I want you to understand me. Showing myself to the world. That's what makes me different. The vulnerability.
Okay, my last question. What's next for you?
What's next? I've been recording, and I'm almost done. My EP is gonna be 10 songs. 11/24. Catch that. Showcases. I want the world to see me now in person, not just behind the screen. I want that connection of, oh, this is Moneyy. This is the artist. She's here, like that. That personal. So next for me is showcases, and then I'll be starting my album. But definitely, I want to perform everything I've worked hard for.
Well, I definitely appreciate you, Moneyy, for coming out. We definitely be live in the living room. Would you mind leaving us with the performance?
Definitely. Why not?
All right, let's get it.